Yo, yo, yo. How's everybody doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, yo, yo. Yo. How long did you wait? What did you wait on to have the courage to do it? You have to find consistency, bro. You have to be consistently profitable. You have to have money that you can, be fine and be able to detach from the money. So it takes time. You have to have a nest egg. You have to, have a roof over your head to where you can detach from the money before you do it. Theo, what's up, bro? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody had a good weekend. Excited to get into this next week. It looks really good. What's up, Ronnie? Just letting a couple people get in here and then we'll get it going. I've never used Funded Next, so I can't really speak on that. I don't have an opinion because I've never used them, but I've heard of them. Anthony, what's up, bro? What's up? Can you quickly shout out my name, JR? What's up, bro? Shout out, JR. Shout out, shout out. I'm excited for this next week. It looks good. All right, let me open the charts. How was your trading last week? Last week was good. I was green. I think I was plus 2R to end the week. Solid week. I didn't take that many trades. I'm just gonna post on my Instagram really quick. How old are you? I am 24 years old. I started trading in 2019. So I was born in 2000. So it's like 19 years old. Hello, please. I will like to know if it is compulsory to check the daily time frame direction of POI. Yeah, you always need to understand what the higher time frame is doing, bro. Always. Even when you're trading on the lower time frames. You have to understand from the top down what the higher time frame is doing. Can you give us details about the premium Discord you're going to launch soon? I'm excited about it. It's really a private mentorship group. Here, I'll show you a picture of something I've been working on. Here. I'll talk about it a little bit here. So I've been working on a full curriculum. So not only is it going to be, my private group where I'll be mentoring you guys and you'll have direct access to me, but I've been working on a full curriculum, and I'm telling you, this curriculum is everything that you will ever need. So this is just a screenshot of the title page, but full curriculum called Profitability Unlocked. So it's a full course and curriculum going through step by step, A through Z, everything that you need to be profitable, along with, every single thing that I do to view price and be profitable in the most simple way possible. And I'm just putting so much time into this course and making sure that it's so good. I'm really, really excited to provide that alongside the mentorship, because I was thinking about it and I was just going to do the private mentorship and leave it at that. But I thought about it and I was like, I really want to over deliver on this. Like, I want to just over deliver in all aspects on value. So I'm building out an entire curriculum and course to go alongside the mentorship. So it's going to be amazing. I'm really, really excited to, announce that and drop it when it does. Still working on everything, getting everything done in the back end, but it's going to be amazing. And I would love to have you guys in there and just know I'm going to over deliver on value. This will literally be everything that you need. It will be all that you need to be profitable. There is nothing else. You know, if you just study this, master it, and tune out all the other noise, that is truly all that you will ever need. And so it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited. All right. How long have you been in trading? I was just talking about that. I started in 2019. So it's been about 5 years. How many pairs is better to keep and watch? It comes down to your preference. If you are the type of guy that wants to just focus on one pair and have frequency on one pair, you can do so. But if you want to do a filtering process, you can do that as well. Yen pairs potential shorts at market open. So the 4 hour. I'll have to check out yen. How can I check order flow on the higher time frame? Do you use premium and discount or market structure? You know, the easiest way to see order flow is just understanding what price is doing right now, looking at the fair value gaps, looking at the order blocks. So right now, you know, what are we doing? We've created an order block here. You know, this to me is bullish order flow on the monthly of silver. This isn't a good example on the monthly on dollar because it's gross consolidation, but almost late. What's up, bro? What's up, Stunner? How much would you think will be the monthly fee? So for the first 100 people that are joining, I'm gonna have it just be $100. $100 locked in, and then going forward, I'll probably increase it. For after the first 100, it'll probably be 150, but that's really nothing for a monthly, you know, mentorship. For the knowledge that you'll gain, you can make that on one trade. You know, I'm gonna be live trading there 3 times a week. I'm going to be answering everyone's questions, teaching how to be profitable. So you literally will make that in the same month, most likely. If you are trading a live account, risk $50 on a trade and hit a 1 to 2 R, and you'll have covered your fee for it. So it's literally a no-brainer with the full curriculum and everything. I just wanted to make sure that I over-delivered on everything with it. I want to make sure I do it right, and I truly want to make, you know, the best group out there. So it's going to be a no-brainer. I'm really excited to bring that forward. All right, let's not even get into this yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. What is the first thing that we do on Sundays? Let me know in the chat what's the first thing that we do every single Sunday before we do anything with price action or looking at the charts. Economic calendar, yes sir. Then I gotta be quick to join then. Yeah, it's definitely worth it for the first 100 people, you know, to lock in that price. I want to be giving value to the first people that join, you know. Those are the most loyal people, the earliest people that join. So that's why I'm doing that. Check news, calendar. Yup. Exactly. Roadmap. Yup. All right, let's look at our roadmap for the week. I'm gonna remove that. We'll bring this forward. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Lots of news this week. Interesting. Looks like there's going to be a lot of volatility. So when we pull up our economic calendar, our roadmap for the week, and we see lots of red folder, that lets us know that it's probably going to be a volatile week. So Monday, we have absolutely nothing. We always talk about this on the streams. Monday is usually, you know, just accumulation for the weekly profile. And when the Monday is lacking red folder, we usually get lethargic price action, you know, price that doesn't want to move, consolidation, choppy price action, low probability, unfavorable price action. And so for that reason, intraday, you don't want to be trading on Monday. You will likely get chopped up. Again, this is probabilities. It's not a set in stone thing. It's not a guarantee. But more often than not, when we don't have news on a Monday, we're going to chop. And so it's just probabilities over the long term. Tuesday, we have Euro red folder, USD red folder, AUD red folder. I usually don't have CNY on my chart, so you don't need that. I don't trade CNY, so just that's irrelevant. Yen red folder, all on Tuesday. So all of those pairs would be valid to trade intraday. You know, if we have news on the day, that's when you want to be looking to trade, because then they're likely to expand. Now it is the first Friday of the next month, Friday, August 2nd. So you have non-farm payroll, NFP week. But we have so much news this week that, you know, I'm okay with trading prior to NFP. Wednesday we have yen, euro, USD, Canadian dollar, FOMC at 2 p.m. So I'll likely be waiting for FOMC on US dollar. You know, when it comes to the big three, US dollar FOMC, US dollar CPI, and US dollar NFP, I'm not holding trades through them. And you know what you'll see on US dollar is potentially we wait up for FOMC and NFP, but I'm not opposed to trading intraday on ES and NQ as long as I'm not holding through these big three news events. But yeah, it looks super volatile this week. We could get a really nice expansion this week. Swiss franc, no news. Thursday we have pound and US dollar, and then NFP on Friday. So it looks like a really good week volatility wise. I'm excited to see what this week brings for us. The main thing for me is just not holding trades through FOMC, NFP, or CPI. Do you use the economic calendar indicator by 2 degrees and just toggle on and off? It's useful. I don't use it. I just don't need it. I try to keep everything as simple as possible. I don't have any indicators, and so it just isn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need it. That's like the simple answer. What's up, Zay? You're close friends with Sir Pickle, right? He ain't giving you any clue yet, but do you think he'll be creating a premium group of his own? I can't really speak for him. Probably in the future, that's something that he'll do. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, right? But I do believe that's something he's doing in the future. But you'd have to confirm with him and ask him. Again, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't know what his intentions are in the long term or short term. But yeah, that's my guy. That's like my super close friend. But yeah, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I would assume he is. All right, let's look at dollar and get a feel, right? This is the very first thing that we do every single week is look at the currencies, get a feel for dollar. Monthly, really sloppy on dollar consolidation. We swept this previous month's low, this sell side on the monthly. Not much to see here on the monthly, right? There's not much to gain from looking at this. Dropping to the weekly, we have, that is the previous month low sweep. We have this weekly SIBI right here. Sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. It's just a bearish fair value gap. So I said last week, you know, it's pretty much the same analysis. We have chop on the monthly. So I want to gauge how we react from this bearish fair value gap. You know, I need to see that price actually wants to move lower, because the monthly is just consolidating. And when the monthly's consolidating, we're just sweeping both sides. So I'm not saying that dollar's bullish. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not confirming anything right now. Basically what I'm saying is I need to see price confirm that we're heading lower to be bearish on dollar. What you want to see now that we've had this wick, you know, this candle close is respecting that weekly bearish fair value gap. We want to see an expansion lower now. You know, price should want to actually move this week lower if that's what it wants to do. And we have all the volatility to do so. So if it doesn't, that's very sus to me. If we start disrespecting this weekly gap, it's very sus to me, and we might be targeting the buy side on the monthly. And so what I'm seeing, gun to my head, is lower prices. You know, we've respected this weekly gap. We have internal to external context. And so what I'm saying is I want to see price confirm that we're actually heading lower. And when I say that, what I mean is I want to see price show intention to actually want to expand lower, create 4-hour fair value gaps. You know, right now we're just consolidating and chopping. But gun to my head, bearish dollar. And I would want to see expansion lower this week. Inside this, you know, internal to external context. It's just really sloppy dollar. Looking at the daily is going to do nothing for us because it's just chop. But I need to see clear expansion lower is what I'm saying. You know, if it doesn't do that with all the volatility this week, that's very sus to me. So that's what I'm seeing on dollar. There's not really much to say other than that we can definitely head lower from this weekly gap, but I need to, you know, see price confirm that and create fair value gaps from it. Twitter handle typo at the bottom, or is it trading? Nah, that's my Twitter handle, because Twitter puts a limit on the amount of like numbers in your username, and it's so stupid because the actual trading patiently name was available, but Twitter won't let me use it because it's too many letters in a username, which is stupid. So I had to drop the I. But nah, it's not a typo. It's just Twitter being weird. It made me do that. Hey yo, good evening, bro. What's up, Suarav? What's up, bro? Appreciate you tuning in. All right, so if we're bearish on dollar, then we are, you know, going to be bullish on AU, EU, GU, and NU, and then we're going to be bearish on UCAD, U Swiss franc, and U yen. Let's look at the actual individual currencies. So 6A is AUD USD, 6B is GBP USD, 6E is Euro USD, so on and so forth. The only difference is these ones are going to be inverse. All right. AUD is failing to trade towards this buy side liquidity period. We're looking at that internal to external context, but we're not following through. Again, there's not much to gain from this monthly right now, other than that we're not, you know, wanting to expand towards that external on the monthly. So it looks very sus to me. Weekly is changing state of delivery and, you know, creating a breaker here lower. So we're getting our change state of delivery, we're getting our fair value gap here, and price is clearly shifting lower. I'm looking at this sell side as potentially the draw. There's only two ways the market turns, right? It's either a breaker swing or a failure swing. This ties into unicorns. This ties into everything that, you know, we always talk about. This is a breaker block, a breaker swing point. This is one way the market turns. The other way the market turns, here, let me go like this. The other way the market turns is with failure swings. And all failure swings are is when we create this high, we fail to sweep that high. We fail to actually create a breaker. And so it creates a failure swing lower. So these are both forms of order mitigation. This is a breaker block. This is a mitigation block. Anyways, this to me looks bearish. We're heading lower on AUD. Straight expansion, clear on side in this. This will be our area of fair value. So once we create this gap, you'd want to see price head lower from here. There's no reason for us to trade higher if we're seeking the sell side. This area becomes fair value. You know, price is offered buy side here, and it's offered sell side here. So price is, you know, offered price efficiently until this gray line. So if we're gonna head lower, it should do so from here. Just going a little bit in depth for you guys. I know that a lot of people said that they want me to go more in depth with this stuff and not rush through it. So I'm trying to make sure that I actually do that. I'm seeing bearish AU, but there's not really clear context to operate off of unless you want to use some form of internal context. I actually do like this here. I think that that potentially could send us lower, and so I'll add that to the short list. Bearish AUD in my opinion. Monthly internal to external on pound. We're sweeping this monthly buy side. All right, so this is the exact same logic as before, right? We've offered both sell side here and buy side now efficiently. So all of this price action is efficient. And so if we're going to head higher, we should do so from here. And it's very sus to me that we haven't. This area becomes fair value. This overlapping order block fair value gap, this area is fair value for price. So if we want to head higher and seek buy side, this needs to shift on the 4 hour, and we need to get clear signs higher. It has to do so from here. If it doesn't head higher from here, then I'm expecting it to actually target the opposing liquidity, the sell side down here. So we'll see. That's a bit not 50-50. I want to see the 4 hour confirm that can still go higher, and we'd have nice weekly context. So I'll add it to the wait list. Could be nice for longs if we get bearish dollar, which I expect. So actually I'll add it to the long list because we do have the weekly context. So if this shifts, then it's ready to go. If it doesn't, that's very sus to me, and it's probably targeting sell side. Monthly chop, we have swept this monthly buy side here. We've just taken, you know, some major sell side liquidity though. So these areas, these major premium areas on the monthly, you know, weekly are where I step back and I tend to expect some form of retracement. So now that we swept this discount array on the monthly, you may want to pull back here and head lower. But there's really not much to do here. I'm not seeing much. Euro monthly, really sloppy chop. Swept previous month's high. This is going to be, you know, buy side on the daily, whatever liquidity pool. At the end of the day, it's just a liquidity pool. It's a premium array. It's a buy side liquidity pool. Just looks very sus to me. I like pound more than euro. This looks very 50-50 to me. I'm not going to add it. Daily is creating gaps lower. Weekly, yeah, I'm just not going to add that. It looks too sus to me. Yen has been pushing lately as a retracement. You know, we've had such bearish yen for so long now. Like, it literally felt like you could short it at any time, but we're just getting one of those retracements again to potentially head lower. So I'm looking at this monthly gap potentially. Weekly is creating a bullish for value gap here, or, you know, changing state of delivery. Yeah, I'm looking at this monthly gap potentially as a draw to head lower. Would be really nice monthly internal to external on yen if we end up getting that. But right now, I just would assume this heads higher. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Daily internal to external, if we get clear for value gaps higher, could be nice. Bullish yen. Monthly bearish order flow on New Zealand dollar. I'm looking at this sell side. That's the current draw. It looks very obvious. You know, we're extremely weak. Weekly breakaway gap. Daily internal to external here. You know, so there's daily gaps. Could be nice to head lower off of. Swiss franc has been playing, bro. I was looking for this internal to external to play out. It just hasn't. So we've swept this monthly buy side now. Weekly internal to external achieved. And so this just is not clean to me. It looks more bullish than bearish though to me. And so the analysis is going to be pretty much the same on all of these. They're just going to be inverse on UCAD and UJ and Swiss franc. But I'll run through them pretty quickly. Again, already talked about it. Bearish on AU, which is Australian dollar. U looks sloppy to me. I'm not going to touch it. GU, kind of the same thing. I'm suspect on these. I'm not sure how I feel about them. You know, we want to see price head higher, or else it's probably targeting the sell side. It could be nice context if the 4-hour shifts. NU, clear one-sidedness. This is a very clear draw. Daily internal to external, bearish NU. Add that to your short list. So it's the same as these, right? These are going to interchange. It's going to be the same, just inverse for UJ and for UCAD and UCHF. So I don't have CAD on there. I don't have UCHF on there. So just, you know, yen is going to be the inverse. Yen looks bearish to me. USD, yen. So again, hopefully you guys get what I'm saying here, right? We have the currencies filtered. So just apply that to the forex pairs. It's the same thing. go through the crosses. Let me catch up on the chat really quickly. Can you tell us a good timing cycle for daily basis for a trader? It depends on where you're from. It depends on when you can consistently trade. AUD CAD did not follow through from that weekly gap very clearly. It didn't shift order flow, so obviously we wouldn't have taken that, but I was looking at that internal to external potentially to trade higher. It looks like we've traded into the monthly gap. Interesting. Monthly gap acted as the draw, and that's why that weekly fair value gap did not hold, because this acted as a stronger magnet. But this does look good. We have monthly internal to external. I actually like that. Gonna add that to the long list. It's overlapping area here. Now I'm just waiting for the daily to shift. You know, I want to see the daily change state of delivery and shift bullish to potentially have nice longs on this. So we have the monthly context, but I'd be waiting on the daily. So you could add it to your wait list, you could add it to your long list because it has a monthly context. Up to you, but I like that. It looks good. Monthly bearish order flow. We failed to head higher from this fair value gap. Weekly fair value gap's lower for sure. This is a failure swing like I talked about before, right? If we wanted to sweep that high and create a breaker, we would have done so. This is just a failure swing. Only two ways the market turns. No gap here. We have daily gaps lower. Add to the short list. Monthly bullish order flow. Strong pullback. Pretty sus. I'm not a big fan of this right now. Yen. Australian dollar yen. Has that daily context lower. Did we sweep anything here? Shorts could work, but you're counter trend. I personally don't swing trade counter trend. Monthly internal to external achieved here. So this area should act as fair value for price. If we're going to head higher, we should do so from here, which it looks like based on that wick, we definitely have. This higher time frame wick will be the 4-hour shifting bullish, will be bullish 4-hour order flow. And so this will be drawing towards this weekly gap. Or sorry, weekly buy side liquidity, but that looks pretty good. I'll add it to the long list. CAD, CHF, monthly bullish order flow, order block respecting right here. We have this sell side. Current leg, gap, overlapping order block. This daily gap can send it lower, but with that weekly fair value gap up there, it's a bit lower probability. I'll add this to the short list, but monthly bullish order flow, strong pullback again. This is a breaker block, unicorn actually, an overlapping fair value gap with a breaker. This is a really strong reversal pattern. Where could we be drawing to on the monthly? Don't expect this OB to hold. Potentially the sell side on the monthly. Just don't love it right now. Again, counter trend. I prefer to trade things that are just in alignment with the monthly. It'll be the same thing on these XXX yen pairs. They're all going to look very similar. They're all selling off very strongly here. So if we're bullish yen in anything XXX yen, we will be bearish on. And this makes sense with the order flow, right? Chop on the monthly, weekly, probably created a gap. This area becomes fair value. Potentially create another gap this week. Monthly consolidation, weekly overlapping area here looks nice. Daily, no fair value gaps in this price leg. We could potentially trade like that. I'll watch this for longs. Euro CHF. So the fact that we failed to head higher towards this external from this gap here is very, very sus to me. This gap may likely fail now. I'm not interested in trading off of gaps that have been tagged into twice. We also created a unicorn here. Very, very strong, algorithmic entry, overlapping breaker with a fair value gap. And what we're seeing is that being respected by price. So I'm looking at this low as a draw. This overlapping area with the fair value gap and breaker, I'm looking at this as a draw. Daily sell model looks pretty good. This actually looks kind of nice. I actually like this. I'm gonna add this to the short list. Euro pound. Monthly bearish order flow. It's just so sloppy on the monthly. It's just all, yeah, this is gross, bro. Volume imbalance. I don't use volume imbalances, but you have the weekly OB with the imbalance here. Not too interested in that. So you don't need a fair value gap to get fair value. No. 681 can head lower from that. From that something weak low without a fair value gap. Background music is fire. How do you trade currency in futures? Does it require you to risk more since one lot is more an amount? Depends on, I think the currencies are, I forget what they move per point. Would you know that you mark the currency pairs cross based on currencies like GBP for longs and won't be looking at CAD and CHF pairs since they're not clear? Exactly. That's how I use the currencies. So if the currencies aren't clear, I don't want to trade the crosses. I want to trade the crosses of currencies that feel clear and that feel very strong or very weak. City's own. What's up, bro? Been back testing the unicorn over the weekend, currently in May. Yeah, bro, unicorn's goated. Euro yen, again, it's a yen pair. We're bullish on yen. It's probably continue lower here. We have this overlapping area. Access for value. Daily, I actually like this for lower. Could be nice. Euro NZD fails to head lower off that gap. We seek this buy side. We took in this buy side, or we have not taken this buy side. It's very, very close. Essentially longs off this gap towards that. It'll probably just sweep the buy side before doing so, but looks pretty good. Lots of things have some setups here. Monthly consolidation, weekly. Just flying, just absolutely flying. We do have the daily internal, the external. If the 1 hour shifts, I'll watch it. We're just really, really premium here. Monthly bullish order flow, weekly overlapping area here. We also have this gap, small gap right there. No fair value gap in this price leg, so we could potentially trade down into this and then look for long. So I'll add it to the wait list. Actually, I'll add it to the long list since it has the context already. This area should act as fair value if we want to head higher. We're just consolidating right now, kind of sus. Yeah, I'm just not interested in this right now. Monthly bullish order flow, another yen pair, right? So same story where we're shifting. If you're gonna short one of these yen pairs, we're bullish on yen. So XXX JPY will be bearish, and we want to pair that with the weakest base currency. So like AJ, for example, we have a super weak Australian dollar and then a strong yen. Let's look at AJ and how it's moving. Just dying right now. I don't know why I didn't add this to the short list. It has the daily context. I actually like that. I missed that. New Zealand yen. Let's look at that. That as well. Dying, right? Because we have a weak and strong currency pair. That I already looked at. Pound yen I looked at. GBP NZD, we're just, again, deep premium right now. We're just expanding super strong. I just don't see anything. We're just creating bags. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. Didn't head higher off that internal to external. I'm looking at this sell side to go next. Weekly, gaps lower. Daily, no fair value gap here. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. Monthly, chop. Just swept that sell side. Could potentially get a retracement here. I'm just not too interested. Now, New Zealand dollar yen looks good because it's bullish yen. Bearish New Zealand dollar, I like that. We just swept this sell side. And it just doesn't feel like there's clear targets here. We've already, just absolutely died. And so it's kind of sus to me to short this daily gap after we just swept that monthly discount array. So I'll watch it. I'll add it to the wait list, but it's kind of sus to me. What would you recommend? What would you recommend, the one-on-one call with you or the premium Discord? What would I like if I choose one option over the other? The one-on-one calls are like more personal. So we're gonna look at your journal. We're gonna look at your data, and we're going to try and figure out what's preventing you from actually profiting, right? And that's for people that have, been trading a plan, know what they're doing, feel confident in their trading plan, but they're just not there. Like they're not reaching that profitability. So those are more expensive because I'm taking hours out of my day. Like I'm hopping on calls with you, taking hours out of my day to do these calls, the one-on-ones, and figure out what's preventing you from profiting. So that's what those are good for. And the private group is going to be a full curriculum, a full course running through A through Z, for beginners, intermediate, advanced, all of it. It's going to have everything, just breaking down how to be profitable. And I'll be in there every single day doing live streams, live trading, stuff like this, where doing forecasts, just talking to you guys, answering all questions. I'll literally be in there 24/7 answering questions, and that's going to be cheaper. It's going to be monthly. It's only $100 a month. So it's going to be cheaper, but it's really, really good value in my opinion. So both are great. It depends on what you want to do and what you're looking for, but you don't need to see it on a live trade. You need to see it on a live trade, not on all data. Yeah, he's doing both. I know Zay, and he's doing live too. Why don't we then just pair the currencies together, like strong pound and weak New Zealand dollar? Why marking like euros just for shortness? Because I'm just marking out the context. So I talked about this in previous streams. On Sundays, I'm just marking out what has a clear draw. I'm not worried about the currencies. Throughout the week, and when I'm picking something to trade out of all these, that's when I'm like, all right, what is the strongest currency and the weakest currency that we can pair? You know what I'm saying? So like throughout the week, that's when I'm deciding, all right, this is the highest probability because this currency is the weakest and this currency is the strongest. So let me trade this cross. But on Sundays, I'm just going through, I'm looking for draw and liquidity. I'm looking for context. Am I going through silver and oil? Yes, sir. I'm almost there. I already went through dollar, so we'll start with the indices. On ES, the monthly is creating. It did not. I wouldn't consider this a gap. Pretty sus to me. Not considering that a gap. But we have monthly bullish order flow. We have the order block here. So if it's going to head higher, it needs to do so from this order block. If not, we're targeting this sell side, right? So if we don't shift on the daily, this is what I mean. And this is what I was on a call with Zay Nice, who's my friend. And I was telling him, Every single time frame acts as a compass. Let me really make this clear right now. This is the sauce. This is actually the sauce. When this clicks for you, you know, it's going to sound simple the way I describe it, but when this truly clicks for you, this is when it just all comes together and it's like the Sharingan in Naruto. Like your eyes just, it feels like you just, it clicks, bro. Every single time frame acts as a compass. It confirms what we're doing. So the order flow tells you everything you need to know. There's no indicators on my chart because from the top down, I understand what we're doing. So on the monthly, we have bullish monthly order flow. I'm really going to run you guys through this. Like this is the price routine. This is how we do it. Monthly bullish order flow. We've obviously on the daily and weekly, you know, for those that follow indices, we've been selling off. But we do have this monthly order block here. So when we tag into it, you know, I'm going to see, does the daily shift? Does the daily actually show intention to want to head higher from this monthly order block? Because we always want to submit to the higher time frame order flow. The monthly is still bullish. So once we trade into this order block, if the daily shifts, we may want to head higher towards that, you know, more all-time highs. But if the daily, when we trade into this order block, never shifts and we just keep creating these fair value gaps lower, we keep, you know, continuing lower with bearish order flow, then we're targeting this sell side, you know, because if we're not heading higher off the order block, we're targeting liquidity. If we fail to offer fair value and then go seek this liquidity, then we're seeking the opposing liquidity. And that's literally all that I'm doing on every single time frame. Every single time frame from the top down. What is the state of order flow? Are we seeking liquidity or are we offering fair value? Right now, it looks like the monthly wants to offer fair value. So if we respect this area, shift on the daily and head higher, we're seeking this liquidity. If we disrespect this order block and we just create new daily fair value gaps lower, then we're seeking this liquidity. And that's literally all I'm doing. Like that's literally it, man. Like that is the sauce. That truly is the sauce. It's the most simple like way of viewing price, but it's confusing at the same time. You know, it takes time to master that and understand it. So with that understanding of price, where we're at on the monthly, I'm saying, all right, I'm looking at this order block on ES. Now the weekly and daily are potentially changing state of delivery. You know, it's not a good sign for longs. The weekly is, you know, however you want to view it, market structure shift, fair value gaps, change in state of delivery like an order block. They're all different ways of viewing an order flow shift. And I made a full video on that. So if you want to watch that, go watch the video I just posted. However you view it, we're changing state of delivery on the weekly. This is the area of fair value on the monthly. So I'm looking at this, you know, before anything. Daily, we have this gap here. So how are we going to head towards that monthly area I pointed out? Well, we have this daily gap here that looks like it's acting as a draw. So this is narrative. This is understanding where price is heading from the top down. And then how are we going to head there? Well, I think what makes the most sense here is that we head lower from this daily gap towards that. So I'm bearish on ES. Long story short, I really wanted to run through the whole thought process, give you guys some you know, in-depth insight there. But if we're heading towards this order block, how are we doing so? That is narrative. So drawing liquidity is the why, like in the where price is headed. So drawing liquidity is your bias. It's why price is going somewhere. You know, is it seeking liquidity or is it offering fair value? Narrative is the how. You know, how is price going to get there? It's going to deliver higher into this fair value gap to potentially head lower. So you need to pair those together. That is the sauce. Drawing liquidity and then narrative. So I think, you know, if the 1 hour and 4 hour continue higher, which they're bullish right now, right? So the 1 hour and 4 hour compasses, everything acts as a compass. They're pointing towards that daily gap. So what I would want to see is a straight into that and then shift state of delivery on the 1 hour and 4 hour, and we can start shorting more towards this order block. So bearish on indices. Long story short, tried to really go into depth there for you guys. Same thing here. We have the order block. There's no fair value gap. Fair value gaps make order blocks higher probability. This leg in general is just lower probability because there isn't a fair value gap in it. Same with ES. So it's very, very possible that this order block fails and we just head lower. If that's the case, and we fail to head higher off this area of fair value, then we are seeking this liquidity. The exact same thing I was saying before. Weekly, Changing state of delivery. This is a weekly breaker block. We sweep this swing high. So we have a unicorn here, overlapping fair value gap and breaker block. However you want to see it, however you want to mark it. The market is shifting on the weekly, however you want to see it, right? Same thing, pretty much the exact same analysis. Now I want to see, let's trade into this daily gap to potentially head lower towards that sell side. Bearish on NASDAQ. Gold. Monthly bullish order flow. Mark out the gaps, mark out the areas of fair value, where we're overlapping, whatnot. We headed higher off this monthly gap here, and we swept this buy side. So now we've swept a major premium array on the monthly. This huge wick is going to be the daily and 4-hour shifting state of delivery bearish. So the gold looks bearish to me. We have this internal to external context, this daily gap here. I actually like this. Gonna add to the short list. Looks pretty good. Silver's been even weaker, so I'm assuming silver has a setup as well. If anything, it might have a breakaway gap and not have context, but gold looks good for shorts. I'm bearish on gold. Monthly bullish order flow. Again, liquidity or fair value. Well, we just swept liquidity. Now we're probably offering fair value on the monthly. Weekly, creating fair value gaps lower. Not much to say on the weekly other than that we created this failure swing. Going back to what I said before, the two ways the market turns. This is a failure swing. Daily gap here. It actually is creating a gap that we can trade off of. So internal to external on the daily. I like silver and gold a lot. They look good. Big fan. Crude oil. I was looking at the 4-hour. The monthly is just gross. We're failing to seek this buy side. Sell side might be the draw here. The weekly. Trade into this gap. So this is what I mean. Understanding that every time frame acts as a compass. So we're on the weekly. If the 4-hour never shifts bullish, if we just continue lower, then we're drawing to this sell side down here. If we shift bullish and begin to head higher, then we're seeking this buy side up here. External and internal, liquidity and fair value. This doesn't look that clear to me. I would favor shorts the way that the daily and the weekly are looking right now. It looks like it wants that sell side, but not that clear. So those are my thoughts. I tried to really go in depth there and, let you guys understand the logic. But it's literally all just understanding order flow. Order flow is everything that you need. Even fundamentally, people try to look at commitment to traders. They try to look at seasonality. They try to look at, all the fundamentals, news, whatever. The reality is everything is reflected into these candlesticks. So the current state of order flow, these most recent legs, and just understanding what price is doing from the top down is all that you'll ever need. That's why you'll never see me with an indicator on my chart. I don't even use SMT. I don't, if it doesn't serve my trading, then it's not being utilized. And if I can get to it in a simple way, like I don't need to see SMT to understand that something's weaker or that this is the relatively weaker or stronger pair. So if I can get to that same destination in a more simple way, then I'm going to do it. Because at the end of the day, with trading, less is more. And I genuinely think I have like one of the most simple ways of viewing price that you guys will ever find. So I'm happy to share the knowledge. I'm happy to help. And yeah, I think that was really insightful. When you understand how all these time frames act as a compass, how they all work together from the top down, that is when the trading clicks. And that is when you realize you don't need any of the stuff that people mention. Session highs and lows, like midnight open, weekly open, power of 3. You don't need any of that because it's all reflected into what you're already doing. It's all baked in. He isn't lying, made me understand the order flow more. I kept messing up looking back too much. Yeah, you don't need the left at all. It's just current price legs. What about the weekly BISI on ES? I don't like this for value gap. I really don't even you're talking about this one? Not too worried about it. If the 4-hour shifts and we disrespect this daily gap, then potentially, but we'll see. I'm expecting lower from daily internal to external here. Goes back to what I was saying on the monthly. But yeah, if we do respect this area, the reason, if we were strong, we should have done so we should have headed higher from this weekly gap. You know, there's nothing overlapping here. So we'll see. I'm just reading the order flow from the top down. If we're going to go higher, it's going to disrespect this daily gap. The 1 hour will point that. But when we trade into this 1 hour, or when we trade into this daily gap and the 1 hour shifts bearish here, and you know we're targeting the sell side. It's just literally gray boxes and gray lines on my charts. Weekly changing state of delivery here too is not a good sign for this gap to hold. Can you argue that price is reacting with that weekly for value gap? Yes, it has a reaction. Price moves from discount array to premium array. So we're on a weekly, we're in a discount array. Now it's going to move to a premium array on the daily. So discount to premium, premium to discount. So from a discount array to a premium array. So this weekly gap that we're having a reaction off is sending it higher into this daily gap. Now if we want to draw lower and we have to draw on liquidity correct, this daily gap will send it lower. So the price is really just moving from discount array to premium array. Premium to discount, discount to premium. I'm easily finding the direction of any pairs, but I didn't clearly know how to travel with them. Give some tips for it. I don't know. What do you mean travel with them? Travel with them? Do you look at fundamental news too? Nope. Just like I talked about before, all I look at is the economic calendar as the roadmap for volatility injection. I don't factor fundamentals into my trading because it's all reflected into the candlesticks. You know, the current order flow, the way price is booking right now is all that you need to understand what price wants to do. So you don't need to worry about all the fundamentals other than understanding when the news is, because news gives volatility. News gives, you know, price the energy to actually want to move where it's trying to go. That's all that you need. There's nothing else. So I don't think about, I think seasonalities are good. Like you can use them. I don't even use seasonality. I don't use, you know, commitment to trader. I don't use any of that because I just don't need it. It's in the candlesticks. Burger, what's up, Joe? I'm interested in gold analysis. It's bearish, yes, but what should one look for to know a reversal is happening at the fair value gap or supply zone? So just what I was talking about before. To understand price is reversing, to understand that price is shifting from these areas that you mark out, whether you're using supply and demand, support and resistance, ICT, PD arrays, whatever, you need to understand the order flow on the lower time frames. So when we trade into this daily area, again, whether that's your supply zone, whether that's your support area, whatever you use, you need to see the order flow on the lower time frames confirm that we're actually heading lower from that. So if we trade into this daily gap and we drop into the 1 hour, let me just transpose that to the 1 hour so you can actually see it. So this is the daily gap. This is our daily area of interest, whatever it is that you use, whatever strategy, doesn't matter. When we trade into it, you need to see this order flow shift state of delivery. You need to see this order flow shift bearish and change what it wants to do. You know, it shifts its intention. It's going to create fair value gaps lower and change state of delivery, and we're going to continue lower. But if we trade into your area of interest and we just create new gaps higher and we just continue with bullish order flow, you know, it might sweep the sell side and then continue higher, whatever it does, and it never shifts, then you know that we're not respecting that daily gap and we're drawing higher somewhere. So every time frame from the top down acts as a compass, and that's what I was talking about before. That is the sauce. It's like a simple thing to like, I don't know, it's simple, but it's not. You know, understanding from the top down how all these time frames work together, it's not, it takes time in looking at the charts. Like you have to just spend a lot of time with the charts, but what you'll see is literally from the monthly all the way down, all these time frames work together. They have the same intention, and narrative is just understanding how we're going to deliver, where we're likely to go. So if you understand where the monthly, weekly, or daily are drawing, then you ask yourself, all right, how are we going to deliver there on the 4 hour and 1 hour? And then when we trade into those PD arrays, then you look for your entry model off of those PD arrays. And that's literally it. Yes, I like your approach of trading, clean sheet and easy. I like ERL, IRL as you find and understand this. You don't need anything. That's literally it. That's all you need, man. It's all that you need. Liquidity and fair value. Internal and external. There's nothing else that you need. It's the easiest way to get draw on liquidity. It works as narrative. You know, fair value apps and liquidity pools as narrative, PD arrays. It's literally everything that you need. Everything that I do is centered around order flow and then just liquidity or fair value. But yeah, I looked at everything pretty much. If you guys have any questions or anything else you want me to look at, let me know. A bunch of my family are out on the lake right now, so I'm gonna probably go and drive over there and go on the lake with them in a little bit. But I'm happy to answer any more questions you guys have or anything for a little bit here, and then we'll wrap it up. Any questions, trading related, you know, just life related, I really don't care. I'm down to answer anything. I love just, you know, talking to you guys. Indices though, indices look interesting. Monthly order flow is still bullish. We want to submit to that trend. To me, it should be seeking a discount array on the monthly. This order block is lower probability because we don't really have a gap here. So what I'm expecting again is that we draw towards that order block. Order blocks don't act as a draw on liquidity, but it's the only area that, you know, will act as a discount array for how I view price. So now I want to see this daily gap hold and send it lower. If that's the case, then when we trade into it, the 1 hour is going to shift. The 1 hour is going to be bearish. So we're going to head higher into it, and the 1 hour is going to shift bearish. Whether you use a market structure shift, a change in state of delivery, fair value gaps, whatever it is, just different ways of viewing the same thing. If you haven't watched my video on order flow shifts, I just posted that last week. Definitely go check that out. When will your mentorship be? I haven't come up with a launch date. I'm building out a full curriculum and course. I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. I just really want to over deliver on value. I want it to be a no-brainer for you guys. I genuinely, you know, want to just create one of the best private groups out there, as well as a curriculum. I want everything that you need to be in that curriculum. Like literally, I want it to be the, you know, I am a religious person, so I'm not trying to disrespect the Bible, but I want it to be like the Bible of trading. Like I want it to be all that you need. Like if you want to trade this way, if this is how you want to be profitable and with this strategy that I use, I want it to be literally everything that you need. And you just refer back to that, and that's all you'll need. So I'm building that out. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but I'll make a formal announcement soon when I'm ready to launch it. Sorry, a bit late. Have a few minutes to catch some of the stream. Let's go, Joe. Indices trading on Monday. There's no news, and we have NFP week, so it's kind of sus to me. We might just consolidate, have lethargic price action. I'll be showing up to the charts on Monday. Absolutely. I personally will show up and trade, or look to trade at least on indices when there isn't news. But if it's a Monday with no news, I'm sus. You know, I'm looking at the charts. I'm expecting it to be low probability. I'm expecting it to be lethargic. And so when it does that, if it confirms that it's just a low probability day, then I just won't trade. So that's a bit of experience. You know, if you can't do that, if you can't show up to the charts and recognize that it's a low probability price, then I would recommend just not showing up on the days without news. So if there's no news on the day, just don't show up. Like if discipline is an issue or just intuition with that, that's what I would recommend. Oil on bearish watch list. Oil felt a little 50-50 to me. I was gun to my head more bearish than bullish. We set up this previous month high. Weekly is creating gaps lower. We're not heading higher off this order block, so I'll be looking at this sell side as a draw most likely. Daily gaps. I want to see a new daily gap lower here, but it looks definitely bearish to me, or more bearish than bullish. I don't love it though. I just didn't add it. Gun on my head bearish though. I'm easily finding the context, but I don't know clearly if they'll align time frames. You have to understand from the top down where we should head higher and head lower from. So it comes down to narrative and fair value, all the stuff that I touched on a little bit in the stream. 9:30 a.m. volatility enough? I would say so, yeah, on indices. Just for ES and NQ, that 9:30 equities open. So when, equities open occurs, that provides a lot of volatility injection in price. And so if price wants to move and it's moving and it confirms that it's moving with fair value gaps, then I don't see an issue in trading that. What is your age? I'm 24. Any live streams planned? Next week I'll be doing a live trading stream on YouTube for sure. I plan to do 3 or 4 live trading streams a week in the private Discord group. But for this YouTube, the public stuff, mainly just the weekly forecast and then maybe 1 or 2 live trading streams on YouTube a week. This is my plan going forward. Ronnie, thank you very much. No problem, brother. His info. What's up? Mentorship, will you trade futures only or forex too? So I'm going to be doing analysis, teaching forex, teaching a trading strategy for forex as well as futures. So it'll be both. But I'm mainly focusing on trading futures right now. So I'm going to be, teaching both, catering to both instruments, but mainly I'm focused as of right now. Like my personal trading career, where I'm trying to go with everything is futures based, but it'll have both. So can you do analysis on gold? I just talked about gold. I've seen a lot of people trading gold, but some are afraid of trading it. People just are scared of volatility. They don't understand that volatility is their friend. Gold tends to have these very strong moves in one direction, but that's actually a good thing. So I'm definitely not opposed to trading gold. Can we take a trade on silver even though we don't have news on Monday? I mean, you can, but it's more likely to be lethargic when dollar doesn't want to move. But to me, this should get stop hunted right here into the gap and head lower. We'll see if that happens on Monday. You really just want to be using the economic calendar as your roadmap at all times. But yeah, silver and gold look good for lower. It's a really nice context. If you guys aren't in the free Discord, definitely get in there. Literally a no-brainer. I don't know why you wouldn't be in there. Send the link. There's the link for those of you that are in the Discord. Weekly busy on gold, not a problem. Not too worried about it causing a reaction. It's kind of the same thing we just talked about with ES. And I think that the monthly is drawing lower, then this weekly gap will cause a reaction to hence trade lower off the daily. So if the 1 hour shifts and confirms that we're heading lower off this daily, then I'm looking at this as the low, and we should just invalidate that weekly gap. If the inverse is true, where we trade into the daily gap and we just don't shift state of delivery, then that weekly gap might be respecting. So it's understanding from the top down what we're doing. But we just swept that monthly buy side, and so for that reason I'm favoring shorts even with this weekly gap here. That weekly gap sent it towards the monthly buy side. We swept the monthly buy side, and now we're creating clear for value gaps lower. To me, I would expect this to hold. That's just from the top down understanding what I think we're trying to do. The weekly caused this reaction to create this gap here, and then now we should deliver lower off of it, in my opinion. But again, I would need the 1 hour. I would need to see the lower time frames confirm that we're actually doing that. I'm not just going to short. Can you talk more about narrative? I feel like I talked about it a good amount, but I'm going to have there will be a full lesson on narrative from the top down in the course. So it's gonna have all the sauce in it. I'll probably literally I'll probably record an hour-long video talking about narrative from the top down for you guys in the curriculum. But it's just understanding, where is price headed? That is the draw on liquidity. Narrative is how is price going to deliver there. So in what PD arrays can we trade off of in the direction of where price is heading? So all the trading setups you're teaching work on gold and silver. They work on everything. Crypto, they work on metals, crude oil, the commodities, all of them. Indices, anything with price delivery, candlesticks, it works on. Everything that I teach is it works on any asset class. Whatever you want to trade, as long as it has volatility and will actually move, as long as it has liquidity so you can get in and out of it, then you should trade it with these concepts and it'll work well. But yeah, that's pretty much the weekly forecast. I think that there was a lot of gems in this one, so probably worth going back and rewatching some of the stuff that I was talking about there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys always showing love, tuning in, and it's only up from here. I can't wait to announce the whole private group and do the curriculum and all that. I've been working my ass off building that all out, making sure that the curriculum, that's literally going to be a full course. Like, people charge hundreds of dollars for courses, $350, $400 for a course. That's all going to be just bundled into the price of the mentorship. So it's just a no-brainer. I'm really excited to offer that. I just wanted to over deliver on value in all aspects of that. And so I'm really taking my time to make that curriculum everything that you need. So the mentorship will have the full curriculum, everything that you need in there, and then you'll have direct access to me in the community with any questions as you go through that curriculum, as you apply it, as you just find your way through the curriculum. You'll have my guidance, and it's just a perfect storm, in my opinion. So really, really excited for doing that and announcing it. But I'll keep you guys updated. I don't know when that'll be out. I spent all day yesterday working on that stuff. And so today I'm going to spend the day with the family and go on the lake and whatnot. But yeah, I am super excited. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Love you guys. And yeah, let's have a good week. It looks like there's going to be a lot of volatility. We got NFP week. So stay cautious of the big three news drivers. Don't trade through the big three. But lots of volatility. Price could want to move this week. So let's have a good week. And I'll see you guys in the Discord.